Okay, that took a minute, but we are live. All right, very good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to day one of the Path to Healing workshop. Today, we are getting down to the root cause of why we're sick, of why these MS symptoms are destroying our lives. We are going to get down to the root cause because until we know the root cause, we can't actually cure it, heal it. We can't do anything about it unless we know what's causing our symptoms. So that's where we're going to start off the workshop. We're going to start by talking about what is going on inside your body. And as the week progresses, we're then going to talk about the protocol and exactly how to attack what's going on in your body to stop all of your symptoms and calm everything down and finally heal the symptoms of MS. So, as you're jumping on here, whether you're watching it live or you're watching the recording, please jump on and say hi. I love to know who's watching. I am using StreamYard, so when you comment on here, I only see Facebook user, not the name, but I'm on my phone right next to me where I can see the comments. So, oh, and there's Keisha. Hi, Keisha. Thanks for jumping on. All right, I see Quinn's on here too. Wonderful. All right, volume's down. So we're going to jump right into this. When we present, oh, hello, everyone. Hello, thank you. Alicia, Shauna, good morning. Natalie, hello. Thank you. You know, it eases me when I know there are people on and I'm talking to people. It's funny, I've tried to make recordings before and it does not go well because I don't feel like I'm talking to anybody. So let's get started with when we go to the doctor and we present our symptoms and we say, okay, I have this. And the doctor says, okay, looks like MS. Let me run some tests. So he begins to run these tests, right? The MRI, the spinal tap, the MRI, and the blood test. So he runs the tests and he sits there, you know, when you're having your diagnosis, and he goes, okay, it looks like, yeah, this is a confirmed MS. This is confirmed MS. You have MS. And what you think, or at least what I thought he was looking at, was a definitive, this is why she has MS. But in fact, the multiple sclerosis diagnosis is called a differential diagnosis because the tests have to come back clear so they can rule out that anything else is causing your symptoms. Once they say, oh, we can see that nothing else is causing these symptoms, must be MS, because this is the collection of symptoms that we call MS. So when they do the blood test actually has to come back clear. So they can say, oh, you have an infection in there. Okay, that's what might be causing your symptoms. Or when they take the spinal fluid and they test it, you would think that there's something in there, but there's not. It's clear. And they say, no, there's nothing in there. She still has these symptoms. That must be it. When they do the MRI and they tell you that you have brain markings, they call them lesions. They're really just scars. They're brain markings. Lesions, I think, is just a scary word for scars on the brain. Everybody, what they don't tell you is that everybody has brain markings. Everybody has brain markings, but not everybody gets MS. What they noticed is that the people with MS had brain markings, so that must be definitive. Everyone has brain markings. So that does not mean that you have MS. What happens when we have this differential diagnosis and we're told we have MS and we're told, oh, there's no cure because we don't know what's causing it. We think that your body's attacking itself because, you know, why is your body attacking it? It's not attacking anything inside your body. It's just on the attack all the time. So what they do is they prescribe disease modifying drugs, which stop your body's ability to make antibodies. When your body doesn't have the ability to make antibodies, that's when viruses flourish in your body. So the reason for your MS symptoms is because you have the Epstein-Barr virus inside your body. It is the Epstein-Barr virus that is finally coming into light into the medical industry, that they're finally recognizing that there's a link between Epstein-Barr virus and MS, or actually all autoimmune diseases. And we're going to talk about this in great detail today. So whether or not you have ever been diagnosed with the Epstein-Barr virus, with mononucleosis, that doesn't matter because there are over 65 different strains of the Epstein-Barr virus, and they go from very mild to very aggressive. If you have a very mild strain of the Epstein-Barr virus, you're not going to go into the hospital and be diagnosed with mono like so many of us were. You might not even go to the doctor at all. You might get a runny nose and, chalk it up to allergies. So it's all dependent on what strain you have. And because there are over 65 different strains, they all present differently. However, they all go through the same 4 stages. So the Epstein-Barr virus, just like the flu virus, it's still called the flu virus, right? But there are so many different strains of it. They don't give it a different name every year. They just call it the flu. Overall, it's influenza. With all those different numbered strains, it's the same thing with the Epstein-Barr virus. The commonality between all of those strains is that there are 4 stages, and we're going to be going through the 4 stages today. When I first learned about the 4 stages, that's when it was like reading a biography of my childhood and my early 20s. I could see through every stage of the virus what was going on in my life and how it took me down. So I'm hoping this provides you with the information that you need to understand that your body's not attacking itself. Your body's attacking a virus. Your body has been protecting you this entire time. And it's only a matter of time. It's already beginning. It's only a matter of time before the medical industry does away with the word autoimmune. There's no such thing as your immune system automatically attacking yourself. What they don't see right now is the virus because it's already left your bloodstream. Now we're going to get to that. We're going to get into the things, but they can't see it right now. They're getting very close. So I see some people coming on, watching here. Ivan says, hi, Janine. I wish I could stay on, but I'm at work, hoping to see this later. Yeah, for everyone who's on here right now, if you can't stay, or let's say you can't make it all 5 days this week, of course, everyone has a life. They are recorded. So don't even worry about it. They are recorded, and I'm going to email it out to everybody each night. So tonight, or hopefully sometime this afternoon, whenever I can get to it, I'm going to download it and send it in an email and get it out to you. So you'll have it each day, and you'll have it to keep, so you can watch this over and over again and take notes and show it to other people too. It really helps when you watch this with your spouse. So don't worry about that. Just make sure that I have your email address. If you already get emails from me, then you know I have your email address. But if you've never gotten an email from me, just go register for the workshop on the Minding Your Soul website. And then they just name first name, last name, and email address. That's all. And then I'll just send out the emails. Also this week, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Hopefully we're going to have homework each day. And it's just going to be a very simple question. Like today's homework is going to be answer this question. What was your biggest takeaway from today? What was the main thing that you learned that you were like, wow, I didn't know that? I just want to raise everyone's awareness each day as to what they're learning, what they're doing, their everyday habits. So I'm going to post at 1 o'clock. It's timed. It's going to go up there. I'm going to post the homework and you answer on that thread. And then before tomorrow's video, I'm going to print out that entire thing, all the answers, cut them out literally and put them in a hat so that at the end of the week, we can pull names. There's going to be 3 prizes. And we will do that after the video, during the video, after the information on Friday. So the first prize is going to be 50% off the Path to Healing 4-month program, if that's what you're interested in. If not, you could always pass that along to the next person. The second prize is a free chakra clearing from Catherine Rose. She's our resident vibrational healer in this group, also part of the Path to Healing program. And our mindset coach, Matt Rowe, part of the program, he's going to be giving away a free session with him, a 1-hour session. So those 3 prizes will be drawn on Friday after the information. So let's get back to MS and what's causing all of these symptoms. So at some point in your life, you contracted the Epstein-Barr virus. Whether or not you've ever been tested for it, a lot of people go back and get tested for it later in life, and they see antibodies, and they go, oh, I once had the virus, but I don't anymore. Let me take you through the stages so you understand why that test comes up as antibodies only. So in stage 1, this is when you contract the virus. You came in contact with somebody else who was contagious. And the way you contract it is through saliva, which is why mono was always given that name, the kissing disease. And I was mortified by that when I had mono in middle school because I had never kissed anybody when I was in middle school. And the doctor's like, this is the kissing disease. And I just was immediately shamed and turned red. I'm like, never kissed anybody. I'm not like that. I think I was in like 7th grade, 6th grade, maybe. I think it was like 6th and 8th grade because I had it twice. So in stage 1, you contract it. You don't know that you have it. It's building its numbers inside of you. This is the stage where it can be easily killed. It's at its most vulnerable, but we don't know we have it. We don't have any symptoms. So we don't do anything. And it just sits in our system and it builds its numbers. Now, it could stay there depending on the strain. Remember, the 65 different strains. It could stay inside your body building its numbers for months, years, or decades. It is when your body is under an extreme amount of stress, and the virus knows you're under an extreme amount of stress by the hormones that you secrete inside your body. There are certain stress hormones. When the virus sees those stress hormones, it basically goes, oh, she's weak, and it goes on the attack. And that's when we start to experience symptoms. That is then considered stage 2. Stage 1, it's in your body, it's building its numbers, you don't know you have it. Stage 2, it goes, she's weak. And it starts to proliferate and really attack the body. And that's when your immune system, because it's in your bloodstream, that's when your immune system goes, oh, what are you? You're not supposed to be here. Get the hell out of here. And it starts attacking it and attacking it. And that's where the symptoms come in. That's where the fatigue comes in. Now, remember, if you have a very mild strain, if you contracted a very mild strain of this virus, then your immune system isn't going to have a ton of work to do, right? So you're not going to feel a ton of symptoms, which means you're not going to go to the doctor and get diagnosed with anything. You're going to heal from it. Whether you have a very mild strain of it and you don't go to the doctor, or whether you have a very aggressive strain and you end up in the hospital with mono, at some point you are deemed healed. The doctors take the blood test, you start feeling better, and you go, oh, well, that was hell. My daughter just went through it last September. And they think that you are healed, you're done, you have gotten over mono. But what's actually happening is it has gone into stage 3. So in stage 2, it's in your bloodstream. Your immune system can see it. And the virus goes, well, this place sucks. I need to get out of here and find a new home where I'm not going to get attacked every day. It leaves your bloodstream and it heads for an organ. Okay, that's the time where your immune system goes, oh, okay, we've won the war. We got rid of that virus. It's no longer in the bloodstream. That's when the doctors say you're healed, and that's when you start feeling better. But what's actually going on inside your body is the virus has left your bloodstream because it's a very hostile atmosphere in there, and it's found an organ to live in. The organ that it finds, the organ that it decides to reside in, is going to later in life present with a certain collection of symptoms. For us, we had our virus make its home in our spleen, in our liver, and that created a certain set of symptoms that we then took to the doctor. And the doctor said, oh, you have MS. I know these symptoms, you have MS. Had the virus left your bloodstream and gone into your thyroid, you would have a completely different set of symptoms. And then you would have gone to the doctor and said, I have this set of symptoms. And then he would have said, oh, you have hyper or hypothyroidism. If your body was reacting to the virus's byproduct, it's waste, it's poop, let's just say it's poop. That is a dermatoxin that affects the skin. Then you go to the doctor with all of these skin rashes and you're diagnosed with either eczema, psoriasis, or with a horrible strain, one of those aggressive strains, lupus. Now, take it even a step further. My mother with IBS, she has a milder strain. If she had a more aggressive strain, it would be Crohn's disease. So are you seeing what happens? Once the virus leaves the bloodstream and heads for an organ, it's dependent on what organ it decides to live in that is going to determine your symptoms, that is going to send you to the doctor, that's going to then determine your diagnosis. But everything that I have just mentioned is an autoimmune disease because they do not see, not yet anyway, they're just starting to, the medical industry is just starting to, They do not see the Epstein-Barr virus in your organs because they only test your blood. They don't biopsy all of your organs and go, oh, we found it. Now, why does the Epstein-Barr virus love the organs? Well, we know why it hates the bloodstream, right? Because your immune system is on the attack in the bloodstream and doesn't like to be attacked all the time, right? It wants to live, it wants to flourish just like any living organism. So it finds an organ because inside your organ are a bunch of poisons, a bunch of heavy metals, a bunch of toxic shit that the virus feeds on. All viruses feed on poisons, on toxic shit. So it loves your organs, and that's where it stays. Now, we're going to stay here in stage 3 for just a second, because there's something that goes along with the Epstein-Barr virus. It has what the medical medium calls a best friend. It's a cofactor. When you have the Epstein-Barr virus, you also get this bacteria. It creates this bacteria called Streptococcus. We know it as the strep throat virus. That Streptococcus virus, though, will either travel north in your body or south in your body. Very rarely does it do both, but I have seen that. If it travels north in your body, then you've had either your tonsils taken out, swollen tonsils your whole life, strep throats, sinus infections. You're affected here by the Streptococcus. But when Streptococcus travels south in your body, you're getting bladder incontinence, you're getting bladder issues, you're getting kidney stones, UTIs. Those are the symptoms of the Streptococcus bacteria when it has traveled south in your body. All right, so the Epstein-Barr Streptococcus bacteria. Now, keep in mind, the Epstein-Barr is a virus. Streptococcus is a bacteria. That's why they're constantly giving kids, because kids are the ones going in, getting their tonsils taken out, because your tonsils are the first line of defense. So your tonsils are going to inflame first. So your tonsils are going to try to fight everything before it gets lower into your bloodstream. So if you were riddled like me in your childhood with strep throat, I mean, I could never get tired without getting strep throat. And ironically enough, if you want, Friday, this was the first time I had a fever in, I don't even know how long, it might have even been 10 years. My son, my 6-month-old, he was home from daycare for 2 weeks. He had strep throat. And I thought, well, I've been around COVID twice in my house, and I didn't get COVID because I think I've created an environment inside my body where viruses can't live, because I've been tackling the Epstein-Barr virus now for over 10 years, 14 actually. So I was convinced I wasn't going to get it, but I did get it. I got a fever on Friday. And when I woke up actually Friday night and then Saturday morning is when the white stuff happened. Now, I'm not against antibiotics, especially for a UTI or a strep throat. They're so painful. So I did. I got on the Minute Clinic and I showed them my throat and I got myself an antibiotic. And I said, okay, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to keep this antibiotic over here. And I'm going to try everything that I know what to do, what I tell people to do when they have it. And I was scared. I really was scared because I knew I had this workshop coming up and I couldn't be sick for it. And I was so tempted to take that antibiotic, but I did what I know what to do, what I'm going to teach the rest of the week. And you can see in how I am right now, I'm completely better. I'm completely better because I killed it. I killed it on contact. And that's what we're going to talk about this week. So let's go back to the Epstein-Barr virus stages. So we did stage 1, where you've contracted it, but you don't know it because you don't have any symptoms. Stage 2, it's in your body and it has detected you are under stress and it has flourished and created symptoms, and your immune system is on the attack. You've got the fatigue, you've got the symptoms, whether they're mild or aggressive, depends on what strain you have. Stage 3, you yourself begin to heal, right? But stage 3 is when the virus leaves the bloodstream, leaves behind the antibodies, right? Your body has created antibodies already, so they'll see that. It will leave your bloodstream and go into an organ. Whatever organ it goes into is what's going to determine your symptoms. And then that's what's going to determine what diagnosis you get, what autoimmune diagnosis you get. Because what the doctors can see is that everyone with an autoimmune disease, and let's specifically talk about MS and the disease-modifying drugs, when they were looking of what to do with multiple sclerosis patients, They kept seeing this pattern of elevated antibodies, elevated white blood cells, and they didn't understand why the body kept producing these white blood cells. Why is the body always on attack with these patients with MS? And they keep running these blood tests and they don't see anything. They see no infection. So I don't think it's a huge conspiracy. I do believe that they were doing the best that they could. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I think it's a conspiracy. But honestly, if they can't see the virus and all they can see is the elevated antibodies, it does make sense for the medical industry to go, oh, well, the body is attacking itself for no reason. What's happening is the body is not attacking itself, although that's what it looks like, because MS is when the immune system attacks the myelin, right? It's not actually attacking the myelin. The myelin is a very dense protein that the shit in our body, the heavy metals in our body resides. It sits on, it coats the myelin because of the fattiness of it. I don't know why. The heavy metals just like to be on the myelin. So here you have the myelin. The heavy metals are on there. You have this Epstein-Barr virus floating around your body. The Epstein-Barr virus feeds on the heavy metals. So now here you go, right? Epstein-Barr virus is feeding on the heavy metals that's residing on your myelin. The immune system is going, whoa, hold on a second. I can see that. And it starts attacking the virus and attacking the virus. And the virus is dying and it's trying to survive and some of it's dying, right? All the while, the myelin underneath is eroding away and inflaming because of all the heavy metals and the immune system attacking the Epstein-Barr virus on it. So what does that create? It creates a scar. It creates a scar that absolutely can heal. The only thing that the medical industry sees is the immune system attacking the myelin. It doesn't see the heavy metals, and it doesn't see the Epstein-Barr virus feeding on the heavy metals that's on the myelin. It only sees the immune system attacking the myelin. So if our medical instruments can only see the immune system attacking the myelin, it would make sense that they would say, your body is attacking itself. Why would it attack the myelin? This is ridiculous, because that's all that they can see. Where does this information come from? I think we already know. This information comes from the medical medium. The medical medium sounds insane. I'm not going to lie. He really does. I'm going to start a series real soon called I Listen to the Medical Medium So You Don't Have to, with little tidbits of information that, because I'll listen to his entire podcast and then chunk it down to like the really important parts. I promise you guys I'm going to do that. But when I first came across the medical medium, I had healed myself about 60% of the way. I wasn't paralyzed anymore. I was able to walk, though I didn't have a ton of energy, especially after 3:00 in the afternoon. And I still had my numb patches and forget my toes on my right side. I just didn't have them, but I was just really happy to walk, even though the brain fog would set in at that 3:00 fatigue, the brain fog, the confusion, but I was happy. I wasn't paralyzed. So when I came across the medical medium and he's talking about the spirit of compassion and the Epstein-Barr virus, I was like, whoa, okay, spirit of compassion, that sounds a little weird, but whatever, to each his own, right? But this Epstein-Barr virus, I've been hearing this over the years. Let me see what he has to say about it. Once I followed what the medical medium said, and I had to read so many freaking books just to get the information. Once I got all the information and started doing what he said, that's when my symptoms went from 60% healed to 100% healed. 100% healed. So 2015, he released his first book. 2016, 2017, I would say by 2017, I would say within the first year, as soon as I added a few things, I went to 100% healed. That's when I started reaching out to other people going, I don't know if it's just me, but I think this works. And I would love to share it with you to see if it works for you. And that's how the whole Minding Your Soul got started, because I didn't trust myself. I'm the kind of person where if you give me a sugar pill and you tell me I'm going to grow a second nose, I'll be the person walking around with two noses, because I felt like I will it to me. So I'm like, all right, I got to see if this works, because if it does, this is huge. We've been told for decades now that there's no cure. And I specifically was told, Jean, just be happy. No one dies of MS. Dr. Revel, I'm in a wheelchair. I can't take care of my kids. Yeah, but you're not dead. So no, my standards was a little bit higher than just not dead. I wanted to walk. I wanted to run. I wanted to raise my kids, play with my kids. I wanted to be able to be left alone with my kids. And I couldn't at that time. So this medical medium information has been tested over and over again on so many people. And as soon as they start, it's amazing. Thank God I brought my water down here with me. I am still healing from the sore throat, but the fact that I can talk this much is absolutely amazing, because I'm telling you, the fever was just on Friday. So the information that we go over this week is going to be the medical medium information. It's going to be a collection of all the information that I have gathered over not only his books, but these are only a small percentage of the books I've read over the years. But over the years, I have grabbed little tiny pieces of information. That's how I was able to heal myself before running into the medical medium in his first book in 2015. I would take little tiny pieces in my first book that I came across. My story is on my website, and what happened. My daughter, she was 2 years old, and she fell in front of me while I was paralyzed. My then husband left me alone with her for just a few minutes. And of course, that's when she fell, and I couldn't get to her, and something inside me snapped. And I gave myself an ultimatum. I said, you're either going to have MS or you're going to be a mother. There's no way God puts you on this earth with two beautiful kids only to take away your ability to take care of them. There's no way your body's attacking itself. You've got to figure this shit out. And I came across weeks later, after I quit my job, quit smoking, kind of upheaval, a whole nother story, a whole nother video. I came across this one book called the MS Recovery Diet Book. And it was about these two women who were, one was paralyzed, bedridden, and the other one was in a wheelchair. And they had healed themselves with food. I'm like, what? That sounds insane. I had never heard of this before. I had never heard of food as medicine. I grew up on Domino's pizza, Jersey Mike's subs, macaroni and cheese. I smoked a pack of cigarettes, not a day, but I smoked a lot back then. I wasn't a healthy person at all, because I didn't understand the relationship between food and health. I know that sounds ridiculous in this day and age. So when I started doing what those women did in the book, I eliminated everything first: gluten, dairy, soy. There was one other one that I can't remember. I think I eliminated cheese. I did eliminate cheese, but I didn't stick to that, because after I slowly reintroduced things back, I didn't see a difference with anything until I tested back the gluten. That's when I saw the biggest difference. And that, because I slept, I won't skip over that part. So I waited 3 months, I tested back the gluten, and that's when I slept for 18 hours the next day. I was completely down again, no energy, couldn't feel my right leg. And that lasted for 2 months until I was back to, okay, it's the gluten. Let me start this again. So that was 14 years ago. That's when my daughter was 2. She's 16 now. She's going on 17. So I'm going on 15 years that I've been doing this. Little by little, I found little pieces of information that was in 2008 until 2015, when I found the medical medium. I was going solely on my own intuition that my body is not attacking itself. I know it's not. I don't know how I know this, but I just feel it in my bones. This is something inside my body. So I thought, all right, let's use some logic here. It's either going to be a bacteria, a fungus, or a virus, right? Those are the things that I researched, that's what the immune system attacks. Those are the pathogens. So I treated my body like it had all three of those. And I just kept detoxing it, all these different cleanses that I would do. And I eliminated foods that I thought, and chemicals, I read about those. Over those years from 2008 to 2015, I had gotten myself healed about 60% of the way. That's when I found the medical medium. And that's when I started doing what he said. I did think he sounded crazy, but I was like, well, it's worth a try. Let's see if this works. And it did. Then I got to 100% healed. So that's where this protocol information comes, mainly from the medical medium, because it really is a targeted attack. And that it also comes from my experience of doing this over 14 years. When I talk about later in the week, when I talk about the peaks and the valleys, taking breaks, understanding what is an exacerbation and what is a detox, getting through those valleys when you're feeling like, oh my God, I'm getting worse. I'm listening to some chick on Facebook and I just keep getting worse. You have to understand what's happening inside of your body before you can understand what to do about it, or before you can understand how to talk yourself through that valley and understand that it's healing. So that's where this protocol was born through those 14 years of experience. And when I finally started sharing it with other people and they started healing, that's when I thought, oh my goodness, we have something here. I was able to streamline it down into do this first, do this second, do this third, do this fourth. And we have a whole system that just works really beautifully to not overwhelm not only your body, you can't overwhelm your body, but you can't overwhelm your mind either. We all have lives and responsibilities and shit that we got to get done in a day. And if I tell you, yeah, you got to do A to Z and you got to do this, you're going to be like, great, I don't have the energy to do any of that. So how am I supposed to heal if I don't have the energy to do what I need to do in order to heal? That's why tomorrow we're going to talk about getting you the energy, because you're right. Today is going to be the day that we're talking about what is causing the symptoms. Tomorrow, we're going to give you two quick things that you can do right away to not only start healing, but start eliminating the brain fog and getting that energy. Then you have the energy to keep going on the protocol. I completely understand. I don't want anyone to think, do this protocol and by the end of the week you're going to be healed. No, it's a 4-month program. I open enrollment at the end of the workshop because I want to give you all of the information in the workshop first for free. This information will always be free. This is information we should learn in high school and middle school. We should learn this, how to heal our bodies. And I think one day it will be part of the curriculum, because I know so many organizations and associations that are working on this right now. This information will always be free. The only thing that I would charge for is the coaching, the 4-month coaching program, right? And that's optional. At the end of this workshop, you may decide, I got it. I know exactly what to do. I don't want to do this with other people. I got this. So in this workshop, you're going to receive every single day, Monday through Friday, all of the information that you need to heal yourself. All of it. I don't hold back anything. I don't say, oh, sign up for my program and you'll receive the rest of it. No, everything. So when you do sign up for the program, for the 4-month coaching program, you're not going to be learning a lot of new stuff. We're going to be going through each part of the protocol, taking breaks, getting started, doing it with a group of people. And then we bring in Matt Rowe, the mindset coach, Catherine Rose, the vibrational healer, because little did I know about energy. I kept detoxing my body, but I also kept detoxing the negative energy that we normally just accumulate in everyday life. Just like we accumulate toxins in our body through the foods that we eat, the water, the pots and pans we cook in, we accumulate toxins. We also that need to be detoxed. We also accumulate negative energies that need to be detoxed. So this protocol called Starve, Kill, Detox, we work with the detox first. We got to get that system going first so that when we start to starve the virus and kill the virus, we don't overwhelm our system, because we got that natural detox process already going. So it's going to flush out a lot faster than if we were just right away to kill the virus. Then we're left with all of this dead virus. And the dead virus is also a neurotoxin. The dead virus. The virus only lives for 6 weeks. Is that crazy? The virus only has a life cycle of 6 weeks. That's it. But during those 6 weeks, we're feeding it. We're feeding it. We're feeding it with the heavy metals that are in our bodies. We're feeding it with the gluten, the dairy, the eggs. We're feeding it. So as we feed the virus, it's duplicating, it's replicating, just like every cell in our body replicates. That's why we're alive. The virus does the same thing. It duplicates. So you have a 6-week lifespan of this cycle, but if it's constantly duplicating, that 6 weeks is always going 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks. That's why in this protocol, it's a targeted attack. First, you have to know what you're attacking. You're going to be attacking the Epstein-Barr virus. You have to do it in a very targeted way. You have to starve. We're going to curse. We do curse in this workshop for anyone who doesn't. We have to starve the fucker. And then we have to take our immune system, a very powerful immune system that we have flooded with the superheroes. We're going to talk about that this week too. And we kill the virus. And then our detoxing process that we already got in place now flushes it out. Now we don't overwhelm our body. And now our immune system is winning the war. Right now, while you have symptoms, your immune system isn't winning the war. The virus is winning the war, excuse me. So we, not only do we starve that virus, but we also kill it on contact. That is bringing down the viral load. We're weakening it so much that it cannot replicate. Before it can't even replicate, what we're doing is weakening it so that it can't emit the smoke screen. This is also, we're still in stage 3, by the way. Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm going over my list. Okay, so we're still in stage 3. When the virus is in your organs, what happens is you're like, all right, well, Jeannie, my immune system can still see a virus inside the organs. Yes, it can. The virus excretes a waste matter. The waste matter acts as a smoke screen for the virus. This smoke screen is like an octopus that inks to get away from its predators. The smoke screen prevents your immune system from seeing it, so it can't attack it. That's why when we weaken it by starving it, by making sure we don't give it a food source, we weaken it so it can't produce that smoke screen. So before it even dies itself, before it is even given a chance to replicate, our immune system goes, there you are, gets it, and now your body's flushing it out. That's the targeted attack. All right. So the virus in stage 3 has picked one of your organs to reside in. It's evaded your immune system with this smoke screen. And then in stage 4, we're going to jump back to stage 3 in just a second, but I just want to finish up the stages. So in stage 4, its ultimate goal is to ride your nervous system, because your nervous system is the freeway to all of your organs. And there is a food source to feed that Epstein-Barr virus in all of your organs. So it could get a little bit of a copper lead concoction here, and then it can go up to your kidneys, or it can go up to your thyroid. And that's why many people have many diagnoses of autoimmune diseases, because once it reaches stage 4, it just rides your nervous system all over the place and visits any organ it wants to, and then creates a whole host of different symptoms that you then take to the doctor, and they're like, oh, well, you get one of 2 answers. You get, oh, I don't know, that's weird, that's what I got all the time. Or you got, oh, well, you do have MS, so that's it's probably that. And they blame everything on MS. But I would used to joke and say, but my eyes are hemorrhaging, like blood is coming out of my eyes. And he'd go, oh, well, you have MS, so, it's a symptom. Everything. I'm completely invalidated when I go to the neurologist, because everything is just a symptom of MS. So let's go back to stage 3 for a second. What is going on inside your body? I wrote down a couple. Okay, this is what I want to make sure that I talked about. Do you ever hear people say, well, I was wrongly diagnosed with Lyme's disease? Or they say, I have Lyme's disease and I have MS. Or they're not sure if I have Lyme's disease or I have MS. That is because, remember we talked about the waste matter of the Epstein-Barr virus? The waste matter, it's poop, has a certain shape to it, just like ours does. It's actually shaped like a spiral. And that's why it's called a spirochete. That shape is the same shape as the Lyme virus, the Lyme's disease. Lyme is also a virus. That's why it's very easily confused. It's not often a correct Lyme's diagnosis. Most of the time, it's the Epstein-Barr virus waste product that they can see that looks like that spirochete that is given the false diagnosis. What they used to believe is that Lyme was bacterial, so they would put you on months and months of antibiotics. What they're finally learning now is that it is a virus. What they're going to see is that it really, most of the spirochetes that they see are from the Epstein-Barr virus that is causing all of these symptoms, that a collection of them are diagnosed as multiple sclerosis. Okay, so that's why when you go to the doctor and say your MS looks different than this person's MS, there's also another reason for it. That waste matter that it's excreting, that waste matter is supercharged by what it eats. And you're going to get different symptoms. You're going to get different skin rashes based upon what that virus is feeding on. The concoction of heavy metals, the different concoction of heavy metals that the virus feeds on is going to produce a different symptom. That's why everybody's MS symptoms are different, and everything is blamed on MS. The only thing MS is multiple sclerosis. Sclerosis is the Latin word for scars. What they're saying is, oh, you have MS. So my thing was, yes, I do. I have multiple scars. So now that we know the word means multiple scars, I would say to the doctor, Where did I get these scars from? What is happening inside of my body? Why is my body so freaking tired all the time? Why can't I feel my leg? And they would never be able to give me answers. Well, Janine, it's unknown. Well, then how can you give me a medication if you don't know what's causing it? What the hell are you medicating? Well, now we know what they're medicating. They did see correctly that our bodies, anyone who had the symptoms of MS, let's just stick with MS because we could apply this to all autoimmune diseases. Excuse me, but we're going to stick with MS. So they did see that everybody who came in with MS symptoms had a very high number, an elevated number of antibodies. Remember, we touched on this in the beginning. They didn't understand why these bodies had so many white blood cells. What was the body attacking? The white blood cell is the sign that the immune system is on the attack. So the white blood cells are the fighters. So why are there so many fighters out there, and why are they on the attack? Remember, the immune system is attacking the virus. The virus not only resides inside of our organs, producing a whole host of symptoms that they don't even know are related to that organ, but the heavy metals that reside on our myelin, that's where heavy metals reside. And we all have them. If you live on this earth, we have heavy metals inside of our body. And what happens is our livers are meant to get rid of these heavy metals. I'm going on 45 minutes of talking. I'm good. I'm fine. Hold on. So our livers are designed to get rid of the heavy metals and get rid of all the crap that we come in contact with. But what happened was our livers are getting so overloaded by the processed foods and the rise of chemicals in the air around us, in our food, on our makeup, or in our makeup, on our skin. We're constantly giving our bodies this onslaught of chemicals to process and take out, right? And at the same time, we're also depleting the nutrient value inside of our foods. So there was one time when all of the food that we ate was so nutrient dense that it gave our liver everything it needed to be able to cleanse itself and get rid of all of these metals and crap that we come in contact with. But today, that's not the case. Today, what we're doing is we're depleting the nutrient value of our food, right? Because there was a study done where it takes over 100 bowls of spinach. I'm trying to remember this, 100 bowls of spinach to equal one bowl of spinach from 1956. The study was done in the 90s. So in the 90s, 1990 something, it took 100 bowls of spinach to equal the nutrients, like the iron, in one bowl of spinach from 1956, and it was taken off the same plot of land. So the nutrients are going down in our food. The chemicals are going up in our world, and our livers are getting overloaded, and they're not able to get rid of everything. So what is it doing? It's backing up inside of our bodies. We now have all of these toxins and heavy metals inside of our bodies that the virus can feed on very happily and for a very long time. So what do? How do we heal these symptoms? We get rid of the virus. We just get rid of the virus. And as soon as I knew that information, all of the symptoms were gone in a year. And I know that's hard to believe, but anyone who knows me and has known me this whole time will tell you, I was bedridden. I was lying in that bed begging God for an answer. Please help me. And I swear to God, if he helped me, I would spend the rest of my life getting this information out to everybody. That's what this is. This is me never charging for this information, because no one deserves that kind of suffering. No one deserves to be lying in bed. We know inside of us that our bodies are capable of more. We know we're capable of more. We want to be that wife. We want to be that friend, that sister, that mother, that daughter. We know who we can be, but we're trapped inside this sick, painful body that doesn't work, right? We don't have to be. The more we understand what's going inside of our bodies, the more we can heal our bodies and spread this information to other people. We absolutely can end the suffering for everybody. Because I still think about the times that I was laying in that bed begging God, and I look at my life today and I go, my God, we did it. We actually did it. So once you do it, you're going to spread this information to everybody, and you're going to do the same thing I did. Listen, I'm not going to charge you for the information. You need this. I'll charge you for the coaching if you want it. But by the end of this workshop, you may or may not need it. Maybe you want to do it with a group of people. Maybe you want to do it by yourself. So I have a little something for everybody in this open enrollment, because my husband's like, what are you doing for the introverts, Janine? I would never want to get on a Zoom call with anybody 3 times a week. That sounds insane to me. He's like, but if I had MS and needed to heal, what would you have from me besides the Live at Fives? Because I don't have 8-9 hours of time to watch your videos. You talk too much. He literally said that. You talk too much. So in this open enrollment, I have a little something for everybody. So no matter what your personality is or what your finances are, actually, because I made sure to make it affordable for everybody. There's something for everybody. Because after I was paralyzed and just started to learn how to walk again and live my life, my then husband just walked out and left me a note and said, I can't do this. I don't want this life with you. Good luck raising the kids. It's a whole other video, but I got through it. And we're going to get through this together. So no matter where you are in your life, if you have MS, goddamn it, we're going to heal it. We're going to heal together. Okay. I got you. I got you. All right. I think I went over everything that I wanted to go over. And I know I do talk too much because I told you that I was going to go into the comments. Oh, hello, everyone. Thank you. I'm going into the comments now on my phone here because I can't see them on StreamYard. Take some water while I'm watching. Susan, Daniela, Erica, thank you so much. Thanks for jumping on and saying hi. Hi, Tony. Hi, Kara. Quinn, hi, you're here. Definitely think this crap was building in my system for at least 2 decades. Thank you, Quinn. You're always so good like that. All right, that's what I forgot to mention. Quinn just said, I definitely think this shit was building in my body for the past 2 decades. And that's exactly what it does. Now, our bodies can sustain a virus and can absolutely get rid of a virus, right? The Epstein-Barr is a little tricky, but the Epstein-Barr virus has a very mild or a very aggressive strain. There's 65 different strains that go from very mild to very aggressive. Your body can absolutely keep that virus at bay until something happens. Something happens in your life that creates such a stress response. That's what the virus responds to, the stress response. Now, maybe nothing stressful in your life happens, but guess what? If you're a woman, it's either your period, pregnancy, menopause. Those are incredibly stressful to your body and create a natural stress response and give the Epstein-Barr virus that kind of red flag to, oh, she's vulnerable. Go for it, right? So whatever's going on in your life, and Quinn, I know you're a guy. We're talking about like what happens for the women, but also for men. When you, and I see this in your posts too, you got a lot going on. You have a lot of responsibilities and you're doing such a great job from what I do see on Facebook. When you allow yourself the time to recover from illnesses, when you allow your like common colds, when you allow yourself the time to heal from whatever stress was just caused in your life, give yourself the proper amount of rest, the proper food, give your body what it needs, it's very unlikely that you're going to have such a response to the Epstein-Barr virus, a violent response like so many of us have had. I think a lot of times what happens is we don't give ourselves, or at least for me, I didn't give myself the rest I needed. I didn't manage the stress in my life. I couldn't. I had 2 kids and I had a husband that wasn't very helpful, to say the least. And I was working full time and I just kept getting sicker and sicker. And they call it burning the candle at both ends. And I never gave myself the time and the patience and the grace that I needed. So the virus just kept on producing and replicating and growing until it absolutely took me down. And I couldn't recover. And I couldn't recover until my daughter fell in front of me and I snapped and I said, fuck this. I am not doing this anymore. I have to find a way. And I talk about this in my coaching classes a lot. When you make a decision to do something, when you make a decision and you're like, that's it, I'm doing it, it's not because you see the way that it's going to happen. I didn't see that I was going to heal from MS. In fact, everyone told me that I wasn't going to heal from MS and that there wasn't a way to heal from MS. But for some reason, when I snapped in that moment, that mental breakdown was pivotal for me. Because I made the decision, I am going to heal. I am not going to be taken down by this virus. And no, it didn't happen overnight, but I stayed there. I'm healing. I'm not giving into this. And little by little, things fell in my path that went, oh, okay, let me try that. Oh, let me try that. Oh, and I just kept finding more information that led me to the healing. Yeah, it took me a shit ton of years to figure this out. Hence, the Starve Kill Detox protocol that I have put together for everybody else, because I've taken all of that shit ton time and all the things that I learned over the years and I packed it into this little course. I'm like, do this. Now I want to be clear. In the 4-month program, you're not going to be healed at the end of 4 months. You might be, people have been, but don't count on that. you've been sick for a very long time, it's not going to take you 4 months to heal. The reason why I call it Path to Healing is because you will know all the information and you will have incorporated it into your life over those 4 months. That at that 4-month period, I mean, hell, you could be like Ginger. You could be walking around, right? Making videos. Her husband makes her videos of her walking now. When I first met her, she couldn't lift her head off the couch and she couldn't walk unassisted. She needed her walker. So that happened to Ginger at the end of the 4 months, but she's not healed. She still has a long way to go, but now she has the tools that she can keep going and keep healing and keep healing. So it's called Path to Healing because I felt like I was in the darkness. I felt like I was in the woods and I'd be like, oh, maybe I need to go right. And I would go right and I'd be like, oh, I don't know if this is the right way to go. Okay, let me go left. And then I'd find myself going in a circle and then I'd change direction again. And I just felt like I was in the dark. Now I feel like I cleared the path. That's what I do for people. I clear the path for them and I say, there's the light. Just keep walking towards that. That's your path. That's healing. And then once they get on that path and I give them that energy, they go, I can get there. And now I know, now I have the energy to get there. I know what to do now. And every time I keep doing it, I keep getting better and better. And I have more and more energy. Now they know how to get there. How long it's going to take you to get there, I don't know. It could be 4 months. It could be years. I don't know. But I do know that at the end of the 4 months, you're going to know exactly how your body's healing. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel the change. And then you're going to know what to do to keep going. Path to Healing is perfect, right? I create a clear path to your healing. I am quite proud of that name. All right. So Quinn, thank you for, you always like ask, like say the right thing and like get my mind back on the track that I wanted it to be on. We have so many people on here from so many different ways. Natalie asks, can the virus travel both ways? So you suffered with both sets of symptoms. Okay, let me clarify, Natalie. You said, so the virus travels both ways. So the Epstein-Barr virus, that starts out in your bloodstream and goes through the 4 stages, right? It starts out in your bloodstream, no symptoms, builds its numbers. Then you have a stressful event or puberty hits, right? And then it goes into stage 2. That's when you have the symptoms. Stage 3 leaves your bloodstream, goes into an organ. That's when you get autoimmune symptoms and get diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. Stage 4, that's when it rides your nervous system and goes into all the different organs. And now you have a whole ton of symptoms that they can't pinpoint, so they just keep diagnosing you with different autoimmune diseases. That's the path that the Epstein-Barr virus takes. The Epstein-Barr virus has a cofactor, a best friend, called Streptococcus. Streptococcus is a bacteria that will either travel north in your body or south in your body. If it travels north, you get the strep throat, get the sinus infections. If it travels south, oh, and the tonsils, a lot of people get their tonsils removed because they're always inflamed. If it travels south, that's when you get the bladder issues, the incontinence, the kidney stones, the UTIs. Oh, the UTIs, they're so awful. So I only got 1 UTI in my life. So I think my virus has traveled north. And the bacteria, the Streptococcus bacteria has traveled north because I always had sinus infections, always. I couldn't get tired as a kid without getting a sinus infection and strep throat. Now, you would think, oh, she's dealt with strep throat. She's healed herself. I haven't had strep throat in about 10 years, but I just had a baby. So he's in daycare 2 days a week for only 4 hours a day. That's it. He's picking up everything. He had Coxsackie a month ago and most recently strep throat. So I got the strep throat and I was very surprised that I got it because I thought my body knew how to fight it very, over the years, and I've been healed and I don't have any more MS symptoms. So how did I get strep? Apparently there's different strains of the Streptococcus bacteria. So I got a different strain. I got it. But what used to take me down for 2 weeks with strep with an antibiotic, I didn't take the antibiotic. I had the fever on Friday. I had the sore throat Friday night. Saturday morning, I woke up with white. Today's Monday. I was so afraid I wasn't going to be able to do the workshop. There are no more white spots. You can still see the holes in there. It's still red, but there's no more white spots. It's healed. So the body, once you get rid of the virus, once you get rid of the strain of the Streptococcus bacteria that you have, your body's going to heal so much quicker. The reason why your body right now is so fatigued and doesn't heal very quickly is because your immune system is constantly on the attack right now. Constantly, 24/7. And that's where the heat intolerance comes in. I always joke and I say, your immune system is fighting 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is on the fight. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be just utilized for the occasional virus that comes in, right? And it fights it and takes it out. You recover, you get better. With the Epstein-Barr virus, because of how elusive it is, what I just described, your immune system is constantly looking for it and is constantly on the attack. That's why you feel fatigued. And that's why when you ask your body to cool itself down because you're feeling too hot, your body laughs and goes, are you fucking kidding me? I have been fighting a war for the past 10, 20, whatever, 30 years. And you want me to cool you down? I don't have the resources, the time, or the energy to cool you down. That's what heat intolerance is. Once you kill the virus and your body, your immune system doesn't have to fight 24/7, then your body has the time, the resources, and the patience to cool your body down. The heat intolerance goes away. When people walked into my house when I was sick, they knew, bring a sweatshirt, especially if it was the summer, bring a damn sweatshirt because it is going to be cold in here. I kept this house so cold because if I got the tiniest bit warm, I would slow down even more than I was already slow. The heat would just make it like I was in mud, like I was in, like the air was molasses. So when I started healing, I was like, you know what? We're going to do a summer without the air conditioner. Let's try this. And everyone else was freaking miserable. And I couldn't be happier to be sweating my ass off because I was so hot and I still had energy. Year after year, I was like, we are never using air conditioning again. I love this, right? My kids were little. My husband finally leaves. No, it wasn't because of the air conditioning. So he walks out on me. I go, I can't. I had enough stress in my life. I need air conditioning. I go to turn it on. It doesn't work. The condenser broke and it cost like $4,000 to $6,000 to replace it. So then I went the next, I don't know, I still don't have it. I have window units now. I still don't have air conditioning, but I just want you to know that that heat intolerance definitely goes away once you get rid of that Epstein-Barr virus. All of these symptoms go away. There is hope on the other side. And I should be looking at the comments right now because someone just said heat intolerance is my most frustrating symptom. Right? It's like, God forbid we take a shower. God forbid we take a warm shower. You need to have a day to recover from that shower, right? The sweating that I used to do, I used to come out and be like, I need a nap. I can't. Or I used to not shower for days. All right, okay, fine, weeks. Because I'd be like, I can't. I need my energy and I don't want to go down again. And I'm not going to give all my energy to that shower. It's just not important enough to me. I completely understand what you're thinking. All right. So, hello, Jackie. Jackie's on here. Thank you. She says, great workshop. Thank you so much. Tracy, hello. Marusha, probably need one-to-one support with this to get well. Well, reach out to me. I'd love to do it in a group, but I know the time zones don't often work. So yeah, we could absolutely do one-on-one. Erica, you have to have the mindset of I will heal. It's been 24 years. It's a marathon, but I will heal. Exactly. Erica, I'm glad you brought that up. I did a couple workshops where it was just me and the protocol, and that was my coaching. We got on coaching calls Monday and Tuesdays, and it was just me. And then I realized what I was seeing. I was seeing that people needed that mindset. And I'm not a mindset coach. I mean, I got some tools and tricks that I use, but I'm not a mindset coach. And I also know that I used Catherine for the past 14 years to help heal my body. And I knew I'm watching people go through this. Healing's not pretty. Healing's not fun. People think that once you start healing, you start feeling better. You don't. That's why we're going to talk about this week, the peaks and the valleys. Healing is hard. Okay, I shouldn't say that because I have Catherine in my head right now. That was one of my programs, Healing is Hard. And I still don't think it's easy, but I think it's much more doable than I thought it was before, especially with all the tools that we have right now. So what I did was, after a couple of the workshops and open enrollments, I started noticing what my clients were really needing in addition to the protocol. And it was the mindset work, because it's amazing what happens. I don't think she'll mind, Ginger, because we did a video on it. So Ginger was in the Path to Healing program, just this last one where we had Catherine Rose and Matt Rowe, the mindset coach. So a couple weeks in, we have a call with Matt Rowe. Only 9 minutes into the call with Matt Rowe, for some reason, she goes, that's it. He's right. I'm going to walk. And that was her first time that she got up and walked, and she recorded herself. I can give you all the protocol, nutrition, guidelines, what to eat, what not to eat, when to do it, when to stop, when to take breaks. I can give you all that information. But if your mind is telling you you're going to be sick, you deserve to be sick, who do you think you are? You're not going to heal. None of this is going to matter if this is over here crushing all of your hard work. You can only heal so much when you only focus on one part. To heal anything, I've learned this over 14 years. I know I feel like I want to find better words to say it, but it's just as simple as this. To heal anything, you have to address all the areas. You have to address the body, the mind, and the soul, and you have to do it together. And I've recently figured that the way we attack the Epstein-Barr virus, the targeted attack, the starve, kill, detox, that's how we have to go into healing with the body, the mind, and the soul. When we want to heal from everything, we have to peel back the layers of the body, the mind, and the soul in order to let the healing come up. And that is what I've put together in this program, in this protocol. So the protocol information is all free. You're going to get all of this in this week. You're even going to meet Matt Rowe. We're going to do a live at 5 on Wednesday during this week, so you can meet Catherine Rose and know what she does. You get everything. So in this program, you don't need the coaching. You can absolutely do it on your own. It's just that the coaching is going to accelerate the process. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I think it's going to accelerate the process and give you a community of people that you check in with a couple times a week. You get on Zoom and you're like, oh, how's your week going? Yeah. How is that going with you? Did you? And it's just a community where you learn, you support each other. You learn from each other. Like, oh, you know what worked for me? I didn't do it that way. I did it this way. Because even though everyone's drinking the lemon water and the celery juice and the smoothie, everyone's doing it, there's different ways to get it done. There's different ways to incorporate it into your life. And sometimes life is just freaking stressful and there's nobody around you to identify with. And you get on these Zooms and you're like, oh, these are my people. You guys get me. So like I said, there's something for everybody. I don't know why I went off on that tangent. Sorry, you get me started. Let me go back to the comments because we are coming up on an hour and I know I have a consultation at 1:30. So, okay. Natalie says, so when I was young, it was tonsillitis, right? But now that I am following the program, it is all bladder. See, I wonder, I have seen that strep go north and south sometimes. Maybe yours went north and then it went south. Maybe it's not at the same time. I don't know. But yeah, those are all the streptococcus bacteria. JC says heat intolerance. Oh, you're the one who said that. I saw that on here, but now I know who said it. JC said heat intolerance is my most frustrating symptom. Yeah, it's awful. Amy, I had strep throat about once a month before they took out my tonsils. I had mono and streptococcus in my kidneys at the same time in junior high. So this has been hiding in my body for years. Oh, Amy, okay, as much as that sucks, how awesome is that to know that, right? How awesome is it to finally unzip your body, know what's going on and go, I'm going to fucking kill you now. Now that I can see you, now that I know how to kill you, you're done. You're out. Yeah, so congratulations. I know that is a lot to go through. And thank you for telling me that. Tracy says heat intolerance drives me insane. No, it's the absolute worst because you're like, of all the things that I have to freaking deal with, now I get a little too hot and that's going to take me down. I remember having those thoughts exactly. Oh, and Quinn. Yeah, Quinn, I hear a lot of people say this. He says, same, I'm suffering from both heat and cold intolerance. I have a client who says, heat doesn't bother me at all. It's the cold that takes me down. And then there are other clients who are like, heat, cold, it doesn't matter. If my body has to regulate any kind of temperature, it says no freaking way. And it just starts shutting down. That's when the body is completely overloaded and says, you're on your own. I am not regulating your temperature because I'm too busy trying to protect you from this virus. See how we can change our mindset around MS? We are not to be body shamed anymore. We are not to be told our bodies are attacking itself. Now we know better. Now we have the information. Our bodies this entire time was protecting us from a virus that could have killed us. But because we had an immune system, it didn't. Because we knew our bodies weren't attacking ourselves. That's how you were able to find this workshop. That's how you were able to find your people. So okay, I'm on a soapbox now. I will stop. This week, we're going to learn the entire strategy. Now we know what it is. The rest of the week, we are going to learn exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it. We're also going to talk to Matt Rowe and Catherine Rose and get the whole picture done. So hopefully you can join all week. And if you can't, don't worry about it. If you can, great. You'll be on here. You can ask questions. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. If I did, I'm really sorry. I will answer later when I go back in. Oh, Erica, yes, you have to believe it is possible. No limits. Community is so important. It really is for me. I'm the extrovert. I need a community. Susan, you are making me cry with joy, Janine. Hugs. Oh, Susan, I'm so glad because this is what I needed. When I'm talking to you guys, I really am talking to myself that's laying in that bed. And ironically enough, my office that you see right here is in the corner of my bedroom. That bed right over there, right on the other side of this computer, that's the bed I laid in. I still have the exact same bed. And I told my husband, we're never changing it. That is my reminder of where I came from, my literal reminder of where I came from. When I'm talking to you guys and I'm giving you this pep talk, this is exactly what I needed when I was laying in that bed paralyzed. And if you read my website, I noticed this. Somebody pointed this out. Catherine pointed this out to me. You can heal. You do have choices, and I will show you how. I have that all over the place. Every time I'm talking about something, that's usually how I finish up. You can heal. You do have options, and I will show you how. That is because those were my programs that were running when I was sick. I can't heal. I don't have any options. I'm stuck here. I don't know what to do, and there's nobody to show me how. That was running through my head all the time. It wasn't until I found my strength, and I found my strength in my kids, and specifically in my daughter when she fell. That's when I found my strength and everything changed. And I kept saying to myself, no, I can heal. And then my husband left and I went, oh no, I do have fucking options. I do have options and I will figure this shit out. So now when I talk to you guys, I say, you can heal, you do have options, and I will show you exactly how to do it, because I would have loved for someone to say, you can heal, and this is exactly how you do it. So that's what I do for you guys, because yes, of course I'm doing this for you, but there is a piece of me that still does it for me. I'm still doing it for that girl who was inside of me, who was so sad and so sick and didn't have anyone to reach out to. So this is also healing for me too, which is why I will never hold this information hostage. This information will always be free. Do with it what you want. Sell it off as your own. I don't care, but just get this information out to people. And if you want the coaching, great, we'll do coaching together. And that's how I've made my business, through the coaching, not through holding information ransoms and say you can't heal until you give me money. Absolutely not. You could totally heal on your own. Okay, I keep saying I'm gonna give up. One more. Quinn, stay in your fucking soapbox. That's motivation. Okay, good. I do. I get off on a tangent. I get off on and I don't want anyone to be like, oh, here she goes again. All right, so let's just go over the homework one more time, because there's really cool prizes at the end of the week. I went over the prizes. 50% off the Path to Healing 4-month program, free chakra clearing with Catherine Rose. That doesn't flow off the tongue very easily. That's why I say it so slowly. And then you also have a free session with Matt Rowe. So everyone who does the homework, it's posted. Actually, it was a timed post, so I just posted it at 1:00. It's in the group. So when you see that homework, it says, what was your biggest takeaway from today, the day 1 workshop? Post your answer. And then before I start tomorrow's workshop, I'm going to print out everyone, that whole thread, literally cut it out with scissors and stick it in a hat. And then by the end of the week, I'm going to pull names out, 3 names, and those are the people who are going to be our winners. Okay, so we'll do that at the end of the week. I think I covered everything. All right, tomorrow, day 2. Tomorrow starts. I'm going to give you the energy, and I'm going to clear the brain fog so that we can get started on the protocol. Once you clear the energy and the brain fog, that's when you go, okay, I can do this. Okay, give me all the information. I can do this. We've identified the problem. We're going to get you energy, and the rest, as the week goes on, we are going to continue the protocol so that by the end of the week, you have everything you need to know to heal your body. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Bye.